built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take a few to lose. Built to win, applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, if you're watching. This is Unfazed with your boy JJ and your boy AJ. We have a great episode for y'all today. Round 1 is over. We're going to scoop up some little ashes, some little dirt from round 1. We're going to revisit for a little bit. But mainly, we're going to talk about round 2 and give y'all our predictions. But AJ, I'm excited about this playoffs so far. So far, the games we saw in round 2 has been great. But AJ, how you feeling about today's show?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm excited to get to today's episode and all the takes we have, all the predictions that we have. Like you said, round 2 already started, so we slightly behind. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Slightly, but I think all of our predictions are going to still be based off of what we thought before the series started. You know what I mean? So I already know you do that. I'm doing the same thing. So I'm interested, man. I'm interested in hearing your takes and how you feel. And then we got to also put my Lakers officially to bed. You know what I mean? That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But I feel good, man. I feel it. I'm happy to move on, Joe. I'm not going to lie. I'm happy to just move on, man. I'm happy to move on.
Whew. I bet you are. But speaking of moving on, man, we're going to move on to this first topic. And the Lakers, Lakers in 5. Now, I also picked Lakers in 5, too. A lot of people did. But the Timberwolves 1-5, surprisingly, which is crazy. And people that know you, you covered the Timberwolves all year, last year also, and it was a tough moment for you. You had to keep it real on your show. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, I'm letting you know right now, I'm a Lakers fan, but you want to learn from a Lakers guy on how to win. And AJ, I must say, a lot of your points came true. So AJ, what's up? Talk to me about the elimination of the Lakers.
Man, I feel like last episode, I was super animated about how I felt about the Lakers. This episode, seeing how they went out, man, I'm just not. I just don't have the same energy for them, man. I'm not going to lie. I feel like they went outside, bro. They went outside. I feel like they played in Laker Nation's face. To be real, I feel like they played in our face, bro. And I think that overall, when I look at the series, I still feel like the series was a winnable series for the Lakers. I do. Now, the Wolves, before I get into the Lakers, the Wolves deserve all the credit. Because the Wolves made all the adjustments that they needed to make. The Wolves strategized the ways they needed to strategize. Guys stepped up in ways that I didn't know if they could. Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels, a 30-point game, a 25-point game. Julius Randle was consistent all series long. I said on 4 Wolves Takes, he had potential to dominate the series. Then I came out on the latest episode and said he was the MVP of the series for the Wolves. You know what I mean? So they went out there and they did their thing. Credit to them. And then their defense, we all know what their defense is. Like, their defense is one of the best in the league. That's always been a thing. So the Wolves deserve a ton of credit. But I came out here on the last episode and I said, Joe, they better not go out like that. They better at least give me 6-7 games. I actually said 7. They better at least give me 7 games. And the biggest thing I harped on was J.J. Redick playing Jackson Hayes. That was the thing I talked about the most. I said, bro, we got to win the rebounding battle. We got to get a big out there to compete with Rudy, Nas Reed, and Julius Randle. And what did we do? To start the game, we come out with the same small ball lineup that we had out there that we ran into the dirt in game 4. Jackson Hayes doesn't play a single minute of the game. The Minnesota Timberwolves come out and they shoot in game 5 40% from the field, 14%, actually, if you want to round up, 15% from 3 in game 5. They score 103 points. And the Lakers lose because they can't get a rebound. They can't get a rebound. Rudy Gobert goes off for, 27 and 24, 24 and 27, somewhere around in there. Dominates the basketball game. And instead of J.J. Redick making the adjustment, sucking his pride up and saying, look, we have to play Jackson Hayes. Like I said, from the start of the series, for the most part, because the Wolves are one of the biggest teams in the league, he decided to sit on the sideline with his hands in his pockets and not put anybody out there worth mentioning that's over 6'9", 6'8". Besides, what's the guy's name? Max Kleber for 5 minutes. For 5 minutes. I mean, it got to a point watching that game where, like, I thought about this episode and I'm like, I don't even know what to say. When you watch that game, you don't know what to say. Joe, the Lakers shot 29% in the fourth quarter of the series. Do you hear what I just said, bro? Bro, they shot 29% in the fourth quarter of the entire series, bro. It's a miracle we won one game shooting 29% from the field in the closing quarter of the game. The story of this series is the ascension of Anthony Edwards, the motivated Wolves coming in, knocking off the Lakers. And on the Lakers side, the Lakers not being able to get rebounds and not being able to close. That's the story of the series. And when you add all of those things together and you look at the Lakers stars, LeBron, I knew we wasn't going to get much from him in game 5. He was slowing down. He kind of was breaking down. It seemed like the physicality was starting to get to him, I felt like. And then you got Luka, who had a horrible, in my opinion, first half. I was putting in a chat, he should be ashamed of himself. And I meant it. And then he came out, tweaked his back towards the end of the first half. I didn't think he was going to come back. My wife is like, don't worry, I think he's going to come back. I'm like, stop it. I don't think he's coming back. It's over with. It's over with. She like, I'm going to bed. So she goes to bed. He comes back. And yeah, he's okay in the second half, but still really non-existent in the fourth quarter. My only regret is that I sat up and watched the entire game. That's my only regret, bro. Not the prediction, not how I feel about the Lakers, not how I feel about the Wolves, not anything. My only regret is that in my heart of hearts, I knew when the game started the Lakers was going to lose because Jackson Hayes wasn't going to play. But the Lakers stayed in the game and gave it up like usual in the fourth quarter, and I sat through the entirety of it. So I feel like the players played in our face. I feel like JJ played in our face, and the Wolves deserve to move on, man. They deserve to move on.
AJ, it's not much I can say for real. You said it all. You know what? I just better play something for you real quick. Hold on.
AJ, y'all see the Lakers logo on the y'all see it, right? Y'all see it, right? But tune in to 4 Wolves takes, not 4 Lakers, 4 Wolves. He's also a media member for the Timberwolves in Minnesota. He goes to the games. He see my man Ant walking through the locker. He see all that stuff. The people want to know. The jury want to know. I want to know. Who are you picking? The Timberwolves or the Lakers?
I want to say this as respectful as possible because you laid it out, man. You laid it out, bro. Like, I covered the team. I'm at the games. I'm in the locker rooms. They see me. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I put out videos about them. I got content out. Check out 4 Wolves takes, especially through this series. It's going to be fun. But in the most respectful way, man. Ant-Man, Superman, Batman, Lakers in 5. Lakers in 5. Like, I mean, I gotta stay true. I gotta stay true, man. It don't matter where I work. It don't matter who putting money in my pockets. I'm gonna always be with my Lakers.
Minnesota takes game 1.
I'm extremely confident. Do I need to? Tomo in the comments asking Lakers in 5. Do I need to do the Shannon Sharp? Just put the 5 up and look away from the camera.
Both ends of the floor. Game 4 will be Sunday. Minnesota right now back on top 2 games to 1. He's guarding. Doncic looking. James, corner, Reeves, three-pointer. No good. Rebound McDaniels. It's over. The T-Wolves go up 3-1 in the series.
So AJ, are the Lakers done?
Joe, they better not be. They better not be.
Minnesota is going to win this series and knock out the Lakers, the 3 seed, 4 games to 1. Minnesota closing things out on a 16-8 run. And the Timberwolves getting their 21st win in their last 26 games.
And think about this. The Lakers, whenever they've been a 3 seed or higher, they have never lost in the first round.
Batman, Superman, Lakers in 5. Lakers in 5. And then look, when we was up 3-1, they said Lakers in 7. Go to hell today.
You're watching When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong.
All right. I know it was pretty lengthy, you know.
That was nice. That was nice.
That was pretty lengthy, you know. So, but the video said it all. I mean, you said it all too. The thing is, I think about the 3-point range. They went 7 for 47, like you said, 14.9% from 3. The lowest by any team in playoff history with 40 or more attempts. 22 were contested. 25 of them were uncontested. They were open threes. And they still won by 7 points. So, you know, I mean, Rudy Gobert the fourth quarter. The Timberwolves are 1 for 10 in the fourth quarter. Still won the game. LeBron was 2 for 7, 28%. Luka, after scoring 13 in the third, only took 3 shots in the fourth quarter, which I don't understand. And then JJ Redick just stubborn. He stuck to his gun, like you said. You know, so and then he hasn't taken no accountability. We got to get in championship shape. He said nothing about himself. He talked about everybody else. So everything he blamed Doc Rivers for doing, he's doing the same exact thing in these playoff series. So he wasn't 5.
Hey, that was great. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. That was a little painful to watch, but it was funny. And I felt like you owed me that. So I feel that. I feel that. Like I said before, I was having this conversation with my brother. Because we put a little friendly wager on it after the Wolves went up again. He like, man, I think they're gonna lose that. And I'm like, man, I'm not trying to hear this. Like, game ones, they happen. We're gonna talk about some game ones in a little bit that happened, right? I'm like, bro, it's game 1. It is what it is, y'all. You saw my confidence level. I was fine. But like, I have, after watching how they lost, I look back on it and I have first of all, I'm never going to regret standing behind my team. Never that. But like the boldness in which I stood behind them, I have no regrets, bro. I have no regrets because when I look at how this series played out, if somebody would have told me with Luka Doncic on the team, we'd have shot 29% in the fourth quarter, I'd have been like, what type of drugs you on? I'd have, you know? If somebody would have told me with the way JJ Redick coached throughout the regular season, if someone would have told me that JJ against maybe the biggest team in the league, he wasn't going to play his big man who had multiple productive games in the regular season. Like Jackson Hayes had some big games for us in the regular season. Alleys at the rim, block shots, all of that. He was one of the reasons why I picked him to win. When I was going back and forth with Vaughn in the chat, he's like, man, y'all got no big. I'm like, bro, Jackson Hayes is formidable, right? So if I'd have known that he would be so naive as to not, or delusional, or whatever word, stubborn, as to not play his big man in against the biggest team in the league, I'd have been like, okay, I guess the Wolves win this series. Like, there are things in this series that I felt like you couldn't go into this series knowing that was going to happen. You just couldn't know that Jackson Hayes wasn't going to play at all.
And sorry to cut you off. JJ said you got it's a trade off, right? He said if he put in Jackson Hayes, they can't score. Bro, you couldn't score without Jackson Hayes.
Bro,
y'all struggle to score.
And the thing is, bro, like, you have to be able to, and I guess he'll learn, but you got to be able to see the ebbs and flows of the game. 1 or 2 rebounds sway the momentum in this game. 1 or 2, if you keep Rudy off the glass, he was the only one that was productive in this game. And looking back at the game right now, Anthony Edwards was 0 of 11 from the 3, 5 of 19. Mike Conley was 2 of 9, or I'm sorry, 2 of 7. Jaden McDaniels didn't have a big game. He was 2 of 4.
He was in foul trouble.
He was in foul trouble. Julius Randle was the only other guy who really put in work. He had 23, and he was also in foul trouble. So the game was there for the game was there for the Lakers. It was there. If there was a game to win to go back to Minnesota, that was the game. Or to go back to Minnesota, that was the game to have. But Rudy Gobert literally sent us home. I couldn't foresee that. So I told my brother, I said, troll all you want, but I personally, I don't feel like the fool. I feel like the Lakers. I feel like JJ Redick and the Lakers are the fools. That's how I feel. And I can own being wrong about analysis. But when you do something as silly as not play your starting center against the biggest team in the league, and you go home because Rudy dominates you on the boards, they got out rebound 54 to 39, 54 to 37. I'm watching like what I'm supposed to say? Come on now. So
see, I want JJ Redick to do what Sean McVay did. I got out coached. When he lost Super Bowl, I got out coached. I gotta be better. And then what happened? Bro won the Super Bowl 2 years after that, 3 years after that,
something like that. Yeah.
So JJ Redick, and he was a new coach, also new head coach. I think it was his second 4 years as head coach. Like, I don't know, man. He got
to learn to put. And one thing I love about JJ before you move on, I love his intensity. I love that he has pride. I like the fact that he has an ego and an edge to him. Like, I like the fact that you could tell he cares. I do like that. I think he has great traits to be a great head coach in the NBA. Yeah. And I do think this will be a learning lesson for him. But a part of that learning lesson, like you said, is just taking ownership of the situation. You can't look at everybody else and not look at yourself. You can't look at the fact that you played your small ball lineup for a whole second half. You can't not. When you look back at this series, that's one of the first things that comes to mind. The second thing that comes to mind, at least for me as a Laker fan, is, bro, your starting center didn't play over half the series dang near. And then, to be honest, more than half. And then, to be honest, I look at Luka, I look at LeBron, I look at Austin Reeves. Then I look at the players. But he didn't put the players in a great situation to begin with. That's not to excuse those guys, because Luka, in my opinion, the numbers don't tell the story. He was kind of abysmal to me all series, if I'm being real. Besides game 1 and 2, he was just, I don't know what I saw. LeBron was great on the road and gave us probably the best games he's gonna have maybe for the rest of his career. Who knows? With the 38 and the 27-12 and I think it was 27-12 and 8 in game 4. Yeah, it's just down the stretch. Like, they both just faded. Brown was there defensively, but not there offensively. Luka wasn't there at all. Like, so. You know, I take my lumps. If there was any team that I prefer for my Lakers to go down to, it's the Timberwolves. So much respect to them.
You picked them to win the West in the
hey,
season.
I did. They still in it, and they got a good chance.
Yeah,
they got a good chance. So shout out to the Wolves. They did, like I said, they deserve it.
Good chance against the Warriors, because we got to make our predictions. The Warriors first. They call him. He's knocking out all the legends. You know. He took out LeBron, Luka this series. We already know he took out Jokic, took out KD, and Devin Booker. Now he has a chance to take out Steph and Jimmy Butler. So, AJ, you're going to kick this one off, too, because you have ties with this series, the Timberwolves. This is your Western Conference Finals prediction winner. Who's winning this series and how many games? Is it the Timberwolves or the Warriors?
I got the Timberwolves. No, playing. I ain't doing that again. No, I got the Timberwolves. I got the Wolves in 6, though. I got the
Okay.
Wolves winning this series in 6 games. A couple reasons. One, when I look at the Warriors, I feel like the Warriors kind of limped their way out of that Rocket series. They really limped their way out of that Rocket series. You got Jimmy Butler with the pelvic kind of glue injury. You got Steph Curry with the hand injury. And they just, with them being the 2 best players on the team, like, I think they need to be 100% going forward in order to knock out the Wolves. I do. Another thing when I look at them is they struggle with the 2 big lineup. They struggle with the 2 big lineup that the Rockets had out there. Now, Steve Kerr, being the smart head coach that he is, he decided to come out of his small ball lineup from time to time and put Kevon Looney in the game in Game 7. Bravo!
Yeah,
You would
right.
think you would think it's rocket science, but he said, you know what? I gotta check now. Kevon Looney is not, Jackson Hayes. Kevon Looney is a champion. And he has a lot of experience with that team and that head coach. So it's a different level of respect there for Kevon Looney. But he didn't hesitate. He said, okay, we struggling. We can't really play small anymore. We're going to put Looney out there and change this lineup a little bit. And I thought in spurts that helped them in Game 7. But all in all, I think ultimately Kevon Looney is not going to get the kind of minutes he's going to need to get in this series, bro. I don't know what's up with these coaches that come out and I'm going to come out of the lineup, but I'm going to come out of the small ball thing, but I'm going to just come out of it for like 11 minutes here. Like, I'm going to play Looney for 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 12 minutes. I'm not going to play him for 20 plus minutes. And I think he might have to play for 15, 20 plus minutes in this series, given how big the Minnesota Timberwolves are. The Timberwolves are just as physical as the Rockets, if not more physical than the Rockets. I think, not sure on paper, but eye test wise, their defense is just as good as the Rockets, if not better than the Rockets, right? And offensively, they don't have the same issues as the Rockets. The Rockets don't have a go-to guy. They don't have a guy to just give the ball to in close games. Timberwolves got maybe the most confident player in the playoffs right now. They got maybe the most confident young star in the playoffs right now, and that's Anthony Edwards playing on another level right now. Not only confident in himself, but confident in his teammates. So when I look at that aspect of it, and I also look at the fact that Julius Randle, we'll see how he plays against Draymond Green. I think that's going to be an interesting matchup, but if he keeps on playing the way he's playing, that's going to be a problem. And my X factor for the Timberwolves in this series, similar to one of the X factors for the Timberwolves and the Lakers series, Jaden McDaniels on both sides of the ball, bro. If Jaden McDaniels come out and he got games again where he is leading the team in scoring, the Warriors have a problem. He playing with a ton of confidence. He's not going to get the best defensive assignment. That's going to go to Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle in most cases when you think of Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green. So he's going to get guys on the other side of the ball when it comes to matching up that, quite frankly, I don't believe is going to be able to guard him. Even if you put Gary Payton Jr. on him from time to time off the bench, he's super undersized when it comes to, defending Jaden McDaniels on jump shots and post fades and things of that nature. I just think this team is too big, too physical, too young for the Warriors. And I think they get them out of there in 6 games.
Woo. Give me the Warriors in 6.
Wow.
So it's the first time we're gonna disagree on a series.
Yes, finally.
Yeah.
Finally.
So now we got a battle now. So now I feel like what people are going to do with Minnesota is the same thing people did in Minnesota last year and what they did at Dallas last year. They watched a series, not saying you doing this, but they watched a series because you've been watching Minnesota all year. They watched a series against the Lakers and saw how bad of a mismatch it was, right? Based on their personnel. And they get extra love the following round. Remember last year when they beat the Nuggets? Everybody was for sure they're going to beat Luka. I remember when Luka did to the Timberwolves. And people actually picked Dallas to beat the Celtics.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that.
I was one of them.
You one of them? Okay.
I was one of them. I was one of them for sure. I definitely picked Dallas, bro.
I get you though, because you cover the Timberwolves. You know what I mean? So I get it. So, but I like the Denver Nuggets and Timberwolves match up with them very well. People forget they beat the Wolves in 5 and they closed 5 without Nas Reed. I think Nas Reed was hurt, and Jaden McDaniels didn't play that series, I don't think either. And they went a close 5, like how the New York Knicks beat the Pistons. That's what the Nuggets did to the Timberwolves 2 years ago. And then so when they beat the Nuggets, I saw it was just a bad mismatch. And that's how I look at the Lakers in Minnesota. When I like hindsight is 2020 and seeing what JJ did, not playing his bigs, it was a definite mismatch. Minnesota was struggling offensively. They had one good game offensively. That was game one. After that, they were a mess offensively. They were good down the stretch, but totality of the whole game, the Timberwolves offensively were not good. What won them that series was defense, and then what won them game 5 was offensive rebounding, extra chance points, right? Second chance points. The Warriors is a different animal. Guarding the Lakers, it's a lot of ball domination with the Lakers. Either LeBron or Luka. There's a lot of ball dominant guys. But with the Warriors, the ball is flowing. It takes a lot more discipline. I think Coach Finch, this is going to be the hardest chess match he's going to. Steve Kerr, in my opinion, is the best playoff coach in the NBA. When it comes to making adjustments, like you said, he saw what Steven Adams did, and he said, you know what? We're going to throw in Kevon Looney. He that's what he does. He still haven't played Kuminga. We don't know why, but then when Jimmy Butler got hurt, he threw in Kuminga. You know what I mean? So he does a great job with the game by game adjustment and stuff like that. So I think that's going to be a factor. Rebounding. Yes, the Warriors are small, but they are a really good rebounding team. Do you know that they out rebounded the Rockets last series? They had more rebounds than the Rockets. You know, and the Rockets are a bigger team. The Warriors are a top 10 rebounding team in the regular season. So the Warriors are a really good rebounding team. Kevon Looney, like you said, Kevon Looney might not play a bunch of minutes, but I'm still like in having nightmares of game 7 when Kevon Looney had like 24 rebounds on us.
Yeah.
You know, so he has that championship pedigree. Like the Timberwolves got the experience. They got to the Western Conference Finals. You know, they had some bumps and bruises in the playoffs. But the Warriors, they're hungry, they're starving, they've been there, they've done that. They got Jimmy Butler, who's never done it, but been there, but never finished it. They're starving. And then, yes, I don't think they have nobody to guard Anthony Edwards. I don't think the Lakers have nobody to guard Anthony Edwards. But he also struggled against the Lakers. He struggled. The Warriors are a better defensive team than the Lakers. Once again, Minnesota struggled offensively. The Warriors is a different problem. And yes, the Rockets are physical, so is Minnesota. The Rockets might be more physical than Minnesota. We gotta remember who the head coach is. The head coach is Udoka. Remember the Celtics. If you look at the Celtics now, you probably won't say that they won the most. They are the most physical team. But when Udoka was the head coach, you will say that. When the playoffs came, the Boston Celtics adopted a different mentality of physicality when Udoka was there. The Rockets did the exact same thing. The Rockets also. I think they were the third best defense in the NBA. I think they were the third best defense in the NBA. Overall defensive rating. They made the Rockets terrible, like you said. It's the offense side, which the Minnesota Timberwolves are much better. But I think they're much better defensively. Rockets, I think they're more physical. And who cares about physicality?
Than the Wolves?
I think they are more physical than the Wolves, bro. I think they are.
Okay.
I do. I think they are.
My bad. Keep going.
And I think it's because of their head coach, the mentality he adopts. And they are a bruising type team. Like, they're not finesse at all. Like, Timberwolves are kind of finesse on the offensive side of the ball. They shoot a lot of threes. Rockets don't. Rockets don't shoot a lot of threes. Rockets, everything's in the paint. Rockets, a lot of the offensive rebound, a lot of second chance points. It's a lot of grit, grind, hustle. I can't say the same for Minnesota on a consistent basis. So, what I was saying, but I lost my train of thought. But Steph. Physicality, the Warriors embrace physicality. There's no team that I look at and say, oh, the Warriors beat up. They can't the physical. Oh, the Pacers won. Oh my gosh.
I figure we gonna get to them in a little bit, but I figured once all them guys was down, bro. I figured. Game winning 3 by Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh, Tyrese Halliburton turns to a superstar. Let's go,
bro. Shout out to him.
Oh, man. But yeah, give me the Warriors in 6.
Yeah, no, I feel where you coming from. I'm not mad at nobody going with Golden State in this series. I just look at how they fared against the Rockets. I truly believe the Timberwolves are a better overall team than the Rockets. And I think that if the Rockets had the problem with the Rockets is that outside of Sengun, they had no go-to guy on the perimeter. Not one guy you could go to and just be like, all right, we need a bucket here. Now, Fred VanVleet did his thing here and there. The twin, I'm blanking on his name right now, but the twin was getting buckets here and there.
Amon.
Yes. He was getting buckets, and his future is bright. His future is very bright. I like him and the twin that play for Detroit.
Sorry.
But at the same time, bro, like they look like a team. We both said we got Golden State in the series. I thought they were the more experienced team. I thought they were the overall better team with Jimmy and with Steph Curry. And you add Draymond to the mix, and we thought he was gonna shut down Sengun. That series went 7 games for a reason. They flat, like we talk about how the Wolves struggle offensively. The Warriors ain't struggled. The Warriors, in my opinion, struggled on both sides of the ball. Mm-hmm. Yes, from time to time they won they may have won the series in the rebounding matchup, but from game to game, it didn't feel that way. It didn't feel like they was dominating the boards. It felt like they was struggling anytime they came out there with that 2 big lineup, and that's why they had to bring in Kevon Looney for Game 7. And so the way I'm looking at this, on top of when you add those things together, then you look at the depth. The Wolves have a ton of depth. And yes, their offense didn't look great. They didn't play their best and beat the Lakers in 5 games. Mm-hmm. Like, we didn't see a Dante DiVincenzo game, and we know what he could do in the playoffs. We saw it for the Knicks. We know he has a really high ceiling when he's on. Nas Reed, he liable to go for 20 to 30 any given night if he's really feeling it. Like, they didn't have they did not play to the best of their abilities. I think the Wolves' biggest issue throughout the season is a lot of times they played down to competition. Even in that last game in the series, it's like the Lakers, it gets to a point where it's almost like they was bored. It's almost like, all right, man, these guys, they don't want to win. We just jacking up anything. I remember in the second half, to start the second half against the Lakers in that game, I remember listening to Reggie Miller like, what is they doing? They just coming out putting up anything, and you could just tell they were like, bro, we gonna win this game. Anthony Edwards telling cats in the stands like, yeah, I'm playing bad. I'm 0-11, but we gonna win. Y'all gonna lose. Like, their confidence level was so high because of how the Lakers was playing and what they seen in the Lakers that they played down to their competition. But I'll say this before we move on. Draymond Green been running his mouth about the Wolves for a while. Mm-hmm. He been talking about the Wolves and Rudy Gobert for a good minute now. Mm-hmm. And if there was one team that Anthony Edwards and this team has wanted to play for the longest of time, for the last 3 years, they have wanted to play the Warriors in the playoffs. Like, this is the matchup they have wanted. And so I think they're going to go into this series. Granted, it's the playoffs. Everybody's hungry. But I think the Timberwolves go into this series with a little bit more bulletin board material. I think Anthony Edwards has his way. I think they're gonna need big games from guys like Jimmy Butler. I think Steph is Steph. But I like the fact that the Timberwolves have a lot of different guys. And granted, Steph is hard to check because he's all over the place. He's coming off of 1,000,001 different screens. But I like the fact that you have a Nickeil Alexander-Walker, a Mike Conley from time to time, a Jaden McDaniels from time to time, a Anthony Edwards from time to time. And then for Jimmy Butler, you have a lot of guys that throw at him too. Don't let him be out there playing the 4. You got to score on Rudy and Nas and Julius. It's gonna be tough. And I think that the Wolves are going to put the Warriors in a lot of uncomfortable situations where they got to throw some lineups. Like you said, Steve Kerr is going to have to coach. He's going to have to coach. Mm-hmm. You got to throw some lineups out there that make it a little tough because the Wolves' depth is going to test them, boys. And I think they are the younger and the more fresh team. These boys came off of a grueling 7-game series, bro. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Now, if they really want to make a statement, they come out here and they steal game 1. If they want to make a statement, they come out here and they steal game 1. But I don't know what the score of that game is. I know it started, but I just don't know if I see it, Joe. I just don't.
It's gonna be a good series, though. It's gonna be.
It's gonna be an entertaining series for sure.
Yeah, the playoffs, man. I'm not gonna lie. Let's live up to the hype this year. This year, the playoffs are really good. I'm not gonna.
Facts. Speaking of really good, man, Nikola Jokic, that boy nice. Yeah. That boy nice. Now, I just want to put this out here now. I believe, and Joe, not if you agree with me, I believe these predictions, we're going to talk a bit about game 1, but our predictions are going to stay, the thoughts that we had before game 1 started are going to be our thoughts for who we say are going to win.
Yes.
The series. Like we're not going to switch it up just because a team won or a team lost. These are our predictions. We're going to include some of game 1 here and there just to talk about it because a game has been played. But overall, these are our predictions before the series start, and we are sticking to it. So the Nuggets, they are up 1-0 on the Oklahoma City Thunder, but my boy Joe said they coming out of the West. Thunder coming out of the West. And so I want to ask you, Joe, are you sticking to the Thunder coming out of the West? Or since, let's just say, the Nuggets and Clippers series, are you having second thoughts about the Nuggets taking out the Thunder in the second round of the postseason?
I'm sticking with my pick. I'm going with OKC in 7.
Ooh.
This is what I picked before the series.
Okay.
I gained so much more respect for the Nuggets after that Clipper series, and you've been beating them. You've been talking about it like beating like a drum. See, here's the thing, AJ, in the post Warriors Cavs battle era, there hasn't been a consistent domination of a player. Just haven't. The Celtics have been consistently dominant, kind of, but they slip up and fall. They only won 1, which is last year. So I look at Jokic. When you kept saying, Joe, it's Jokic. They got championship pedigree, the championship DNA. You kept saying that, right? But then I remember last year, though. Them getting demolished in Game 7. Well, not demolished, but them losing basically all their home games against the Minnesota Timberwolves and losing Game 7. Yeah. I'm like, that's not no champion. And then I go back and look at their championship run, and I'm like, you know what? They did play Minnesota without Nas Reed and without McDaniels. Then they played the Suns, who were up, not by the series, but in the game they were up. Then Chris Paul gets hurt, and then the whole series changed after that when Chris Paul got hurt. But it's the Suns though. I never took the Suns seriously. And then they played the Lakers, who were the 7th seed that year, who beat Memphis and who beat the Warriors. I mean, they did sweep them though, and they played the Miami Heat in the NBA Finals.
Right.
So I'm looking at this run like, yo, is this like a Giannis run? Because Giannis had a similar run to me when injuries. No, I feel like every champion they're gonna run into an injury-riddled team.
Right.
But there's some tough battles on the way there, and I felt like the Nets with Milwaukee, they got to play Atlanta Hawks. It's like what the heck? And then Phoenix. Who picked Phoenix before the season to go to the finals? Nobody did. So, and since then, Giannis hasn't done nothing. So I'm like, yo, is Jokic about to do the same thing? I gotta give Jokic props, man. Game 4 was the game for me. Game 4 in LA, after they got blown out in LA, that man came out like I'm not losing this game. And then Eric Gordon got the dunk at the end. Game 1 against OKC was the same thing. Jokic has an opportunity, AJ, to literally separate himself from everybody else in this era right now. Like, it's Jokic right now. We kind of say the best player. We say the best player, but he can solidify that. Like, yo, there's no conversation. It's Jokic and everybody else. Jokic is now really competing with Olajuwon. You know, he's competing with Larry Bird and Wilt Chamberlain, like all the legends from back in the day. Nobody now, but he going against a guy who I think about to also go a different level. You already know, Kobe-esque. Jordan-esque, SGA, and he was really good yesterday. Chet Holmgren won that blew the game and the head coach, but mainly Chet Holmgren. You gotta make the free throws. SGA down the stretch was good. Hit a step back and 1-3. He hit a midi, got the dunk. I'm like, okay, he about to close him out. But Chet missed the free throws. But here's the thing: everybody are down on the Thunder because of their experience. Which is, I get it. They only had one playoff run together, which is last year. One playoff series win, and then this year another playoff series win. They got 2 4-0 sweeps, and then in the second round they get bounced, right? I get it. But people forget the leader, the SGA, he got some bumps in the road. People forget. He played with the Clippers when KD said, you know who I am. I'm Kevin Durant. He was on that Clippers team in the rotation. People forget. He was on that OKC team in the bubble that took the James Harden and Westbrook to 7 games. He was on that team. Him, Lou Dort, he was on that team. Lou Dort got some bumps in the road. Caruso has won a championship. Hartenstein got some bumps in the road in the playoffs. They got guys who got some lumps. And then last year, I felt like SGA was hard for him to pick and choose when to take over the game. And then you're going to see, just from the whole regular season, that he changed that whole mindset. He's aggressive from the jump. And when the game is getting out of hand, he gets even more aggressive. And he did the same thing yesterday. So I'm going with OKC in 7. I think Jokic's going to have a phenomenal series. I think because of the championship DNA, the Nuggets will compete to the end. But give me OKC. They're just too good, man. Because they got that boy number 2 over there. Sega.
I said during the Clippers and Nuggets series that I'm almost ready to say that whoever come out of this series, the way this series looking, the way these two teams are competing, I'm almost willing to say that whoever win this series is going to win the West. Now, with the Wolves advancing, I'm not 100% sure of that right now. I got to see how they look against this Warriors team. But as far as this series, bro, I got the Nuggets. I got the Nuggets winning in 7 games. And like I said, for the viewers that are watching, I had this before the series started. The biggest reason why I have the Nuggets winning this series is for 2 reasons. One, like I've been beating the drum on for a while now, the Nuggets championship experience. The Nuggets as a team have one of the biggest hearts of any team in this postseason. The fact that they are doing this right now without Mike Malone, we almost forget Mike Malone's not their coach anymore. The fact that they are doing this without Mike Malone is spectacular in my opinion. And 2, and probably more importantly, Joe, if I'm being honest with you, I don't trust OKC. I don't trust OKC. And the reason why I don't trust OKC is I don't trust whoever the number 2 option is. I don't trust Chet Holmgren. I don't trust Jalen Williams. I don't trust those guys. They're in a spot for me where I have to see it to believe it. I gotta see them knock off a team like Denver that's won a championship to believe it. You spoke to something. You said when you look at the playoff run that they went on, they had some injury-riddled teams. They swept the Lakers, but they've kind of owned the Lakers, if we being honest, right? And then they went on and played the Miami Heat team that we all knew, like, they was there, but, like, nobody was confident in Miami in that finals. Like, I remember as a Laker fan being like, bro, when we made the conference finals, we're winning the championship. Because Miami ain't got nothing for us, and I just kind of overlooked Denver, and they obviously came out and swept us. But one thing that you didn't mention is the confidence when you become a champion. Like, yeah, we went through a whole bunch of teams that was injury riddled, but they not thinking about that like that. They thinking about like, yo, we the best in the world. And they play on a game-to-game basis with the exception of that I think it was game 3 in LA against the Clippers. They play like they are the best team in the world. I think they're a serious mismatch problem for the Thunder. I trust more guys over there from obviously Jokic. I think he's, like you said, I think he's going to have his way all series. Yeah. OKC doesn't have a Zubac over there. And they have a lot of length and whatnot, but they don't have a lot of like size. Like they don't have a bunch of strong guys. I was trying not to say that word. I was trying not to say that. But I was just gonna say size. They don't have a lot of size over there. So Jokic kind of just throwing his body around, moving guys out of the way, getting buckets like it's nothing. Hardenstein and Chet got nothing for that. Like that's gonna be an issue all series. They have some great wing defenders. But that's got nothing to do with Jokic, for real. Mm-hmm. At some point, they probably going to start doubling Jokic, which is going to take some of their wing defenders off, and that's going to open up shooting windows for guys like Marco Porter Jr., who didn't play well in Game 1. I don't expect that to continue. Jamal Murray. And then what has kind of become their X factor, shockingly, Russell Westbrook been playing, bro. Mm-hmm. Russ been playing, bro. Russ been hitting threes. Russ been facilitating. He been playing high-level defense. He been attacking the paint, getting to the free throw line. I think they have a complete team of guys that I trust. Now, I'm not gonna say I trust Russ because I don't. But what I will say is they have a team of champions that I trust more than they got experience, but I still view them as a young Oklahoma City team. And the last thing I'll say is, I didn't forget how they played against Memphis. They got through the series, bro, but that was supposed to be 2-2 going back to Memphis. So I'm looking at this like, we'll see how game 2 goes. I gotta go in 7 because I don't think the Thunder are a bad team. I don't think they're gonna roll over by any stretch. But the only guy over there I trust is SGA. And we can talk about SGA all day long. Jokic gonna cancel SGA out. Whatever you could do, I could do better. So it's gonna be on the other guys. And what group of other guys do I trust more? The Nuggets or the Thunder? The Nuggets, and it ain't even close. So give me the Nuggets.
Yeah, although the Thunder swept Memphis in the first round, they had the second worst 3-point shooting percentage.
Yeah.
They missed a lot of threes. So, but like, I feel like if the Thunder win, this would. It's not a championship, but whoever they play in West Conference Finals, they better get
have
ready.
a hard time. They're gonna have a hard time.
They better because that like beating the Nuggets, that's gonna be a big mental hurdle they overcome. And I totally get why people are not picking OKC. You know, I picked them before the season started. I'm gonna stick with them, but
right.
We'll see, man. Hopefully, Chat got them jitters out his system, missing those free throws. He was good the whole game to me. I thought he was good the whole game. He just missed those 2 free throws.
Yeah.
And Jalen Williams, that's the thing about OKC. They create a lot of points off turnovers. Caruso, oh my God, he's amazing.
He a baller.
And I do want to say this too, though. Don't double Jokic. Do not double Jokic. The best way to guard Jokic, let him cook.
Yeah. But
just like Luka. Just lead it. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I agree, and I agree. Just like Luka, let him do his thing. I think he's gonna dominate to the point where they gonna feel like they got no choice, bro. The man just had 42 and 22. I feel like they gonna get to a point where it's like we gotta find a way to do something with him, and at that point, it's gonna open them shooters up. And the last thing I'll say, and I'll pitch it back to you before we move on, bro. When I think about how the Nuggets lose, bro, like when I think about the Nuggets' history since they went on to win the championship. Like, okay, they got the championship year. And then they come out and they go 7 with the Wolves. And like I said, we can't forget about how that series went. They went down two games. They went down 0-2 at the crib to start. To then went on the road to Minnesota down 0-2, won 3 straight games, 2 in Minnesota and 1 back at home. I'm like, bro, ain't no way this team just came back and beat Minnesota 3 straight times.
And Jokic went crazy when
went off. Then they came out, they lost game 6. The Wolves finally responded. They lost game 6. Then they turned around in game 7, and they had, people forget, they had a 20-point lead in game 7. They had a 20-point lead in that game, had the Minnesota Timberwolves on the ropes. And the Timberwolves also being a very resilient team, especially at that time, fought and clawed their way back, and it came down to basically a fourth quarter collapse. Like when I look at how the went crazy. Cat went crazy. Yep, Cat had a great second half. When I look at them, bro, like I just feel like it takes a lot to get rid of them. It takes a lot. We look at this past series against the Clippers, where the Clippers came out and dominated them in game 3. And I'm like, it's looking dicey. You in the chat, like, I told you, bro, it's no match. Charles Barkley, like, this series is over. Like, guys writing them off. Next thing you know, Aaron Gordon gets the dunk for the win. And it's kind of like they off to the races. Like, it's just they right back in it, resilient. It's going to take up. Jamal Murray goes for like 42 in game 5. Like, it takes a lot to get rid of it. Like, you got to be a true, and I can't trust OKC because you got to be a true resilient, gutty team to like you got to dig deep to get them out of there. And like I'd have more faith in Minnesota because they've beaten them before. I'd have more faith in the Warriors because they also have that championship pedigree and a ton of experience. OKC, they gotta show me. They gotta show me for me to believe that they have that in them to go to that next level for in a potential, you know what I'm saying, elimination game in game 6, elimination game 7. They got it in them to get rid of this team. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be very tough.
Yeah, I think RJ gonna have them boys ready though. I like his press conference. He said, "Man, the game already happened. We can't ponder on it. Move on to the next."
Fair.
That's what he said.
That's fair.
My boy ready. My boy ready. About to shout out the world, but the Knicks shot the world yesterday by beating the Celtics in game one, being down by 20 plus points in Boston. Now, it's another game that happened, and we haven't made our picks on here. But like you said, fair warning, we made our picks mentally before the series started, and we're going to stick with that no matter what the outcome was in game one or game two. Based on the next series we're going to talk about. So you kicking this one off. We got the Knicks, Celtics. AJ, who's winning the series?
So before the series started, I had the Celtics in 6 games. The only reason why I gave the Knicks 2 games is because I think we gonna have to start having some interesting conversations about Jalen Brunson, bro. I don't know where to rank him, but he gotta be extremely high in my book for how he plays in the postseason. This boy right here, man. Like, if the Knicks are in the game in the fourth quarter, you cannot write them off because of how he plays down the stretch again. He's the closer I wish the Lakers had, bro. Like, that man knows how to close games. If you leave him any type of wiggle room, he gonna find a way, similar to what he did in game one, to get a win. So I'm definitely shocked that they won game one. I thought that the wins that they got would probably be in New York. But I got them winning 2 games just off the strength of him, and I do think we're in store for some sort of Karl Anthony Towns game where he kind of goes off and has a day as well. I do believe in Cat. The Boston Celtics, I still believe, are the best team in basketball. And I think just like the Denver Nuggets, they're going to be an extremely hard team to get rid of for different reasons. Yes, they have championship pedigree and things of that nature, but they are probably the deepest team in the league. They got a lot of guys that could go score, a lot of guys that can go off. You got the 6th man of the year over there as well. And I just think that defensively, offensively, like, I don't think the Knicks really have nothing for them unless they do what they did in game one, which is completely sell the game, in my personal opinion. Of all the high level teams that lost their game ones, from the Cavs to the Oklahoma City Thunder, and to Boston, the Celtics is the team I have no concerns about them in this particular series. I think defensively they match up extremely well with the Knicks. I do like how the Knicks match up with them defensively as well. But again, I think the Celtics have so many guys. You can't match up with everybody. You can't defend everybody. And I just think that when they buckle, the Celtics have moments like this, bro, where they just go out there. You miss 43, 45 threes. 45. You know, Jason Tatum getting switches on Brunson and not attacking the basket. It's like, bro, y'all got 5 shooters on the floor, so y'all gonna play this 5-man, like 5-out offense. And in order to make the offense really work effectively, somebody has to get the ball and attack.
Facts.
So that the defense collapses so you can swing the ball around to the open shooter. That's kind of how it works. It doesn't work if you get in the matchups and the switches that you want and all you're doing is step back three. This is also on their coach too, blanking on his name right now, but it's also on Missoula too. Bro, call a timeout and tell these guys to attack the paint, attack the basket. Karl Anthony Towns is a foul waiting to happen a lot of times down there in the paint. You know what I mean? Especially if you get him on the switch. You can get him on the switch and do what Brunson does. Jump into him from time to time. He going to hit you with the, oh my gosh. And you going to foul him out of the game. And so, all in all, though, I don't see them making those type of mistakes again. If they do, I only see it happening maybe one more time. I think when the Celtics buckle down, I think that they will get the Knicks up out of there in 6 games.
It's funny. You always hear Cat in the game. Like, he hears his voice. Oh, my gosh. Shout out to Dave. Remember for 20 months, Knicks in 7. Oof.
We got somebody else that said Knicks in 7 as well.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you. It's Celtics in 6, man. Like, that was an admiration yesterday. That's not going to happen again. Even if it does, like, I got the Celtics in 6. Think about it. They shot poorly from 3, and they went to overtime. Like, and they were up by 20. At one point. So this is like the Celtics, they're just much better, point blank. When I look at every team in the NBA, AJ, Look at every superstar in the NBA. Jason Tatum is the only superstar in the NBA that does not get doubled. He's the only one. Because you can't double him. You can't. You mentioned everybody can do everything. Everybody can shoot. Everybody has high IQ. Everybody is a great defender. Literally, on like the starting five, Payne Pritchard come off the bench, a firecracker. He comes in here 2 big threes, and it's like, and they be contested. You be like, dang. You know, so you can't double Jason Tatum. So whenever Mitchell Robinson's on the court, who's a big rebounder and a good inside defender for him, come out and have this dance with me whenever he's on the floor. You know, so it was a time when Karl-Anthony Towns got in foul trouble in game 1. They put Mitchell Robinson in the game, and Tatum kept calling him out. And then he was like, you know what? We can't play him. Then they started playing Hacker Robinson. They started following him. You know, taking him out the game and brought in I forgot his name. I forgot his name. The third, the backup center. But he's like a 4.
For the Knicks.
Yeah,
I'm blanking too, actually.
I can't think of his name. But anyways, but the Celtics, I feel like you look at the starting lineup, it makes sense. Like the Knicks, okay, the Knicks can match up with them with the starting lineup. But we know the Knicks don't go deep in their bench. They just don't. They're going to play the starting lineup, the Celtics, and then also the Celtics, the three-point shooting, they have a game like that, right? That was terrible, and they win the overtime. When the threes are clicking, it's a 25-20 point win. Yeah. The Orlando Magic series, game 5. Game 5. First half, Orlando, Celtics couldn't make it 3. Orlando was close. Second half, Tatum started hitting threes. Arrows hitting threes. It opens the game up. I look up, they almost up by 30 points. That's what the Celtics does. And like you said, the Celtics, they are actually better away this season than they are at home. There's times they drop. I remember they dropped the game 1 against the Hawks. Ice Trae hit a game winner, and then they got gentleman swept. Like this stuff be happening with the Celtics. They're having these laughs, like you said, when they just don't look the same. They look like what they got doing, drive the basketball, why you shooting too many threes, and they're gonna come out game 2, and I got a feeling game 2 gonna be a blowout. It's gonna be a blowout. And the only reason why I got it, them going 6, they won one already, obviously, and I got one with them winning 1 back in New York. And last thing I want to say about Brunson, I call Brunson AI. When he comes to the playoffs, when he comes to, I think when we did our Knicks versus Pistons segment, I said when Brunson in the playoffs, it looked like he got the navy blue jersey with the star on it, cause that's how he looking at playoffs. It look like Allen Iverson. Like he getting his buckets the hard way. He not just sitting there settling for 3. No, he's literally like hezzy, dribble, and he's literally getting buckets the hard way for real. So, but if you're a Knicks fan, I'm sorry. If y'all win this series, it's a disgrace for the Celtics. I don't want to hear nothing about no Celtics fans if the Celtics lose the series, because they should win the series. They are a much better team than the New York Knicks. Give me the Celtics in 6.
Yeah, like I said, I see them sneaking off at least one more game, but like the Celtics, bro, I don't see no team in the league beating these dudes, bro. I like not 4 times. You might be able to get them to a game 7, maybe, but like I just don't see no team in the league getting them 4 times, bro. And the only gripe I have though is like I know that we got some Celtics fans that's not going like this. I do feel like Jason Tatum is overrated, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I do feel like, and I think I think he's smart. I think his IQ is very high. You know, big guy. He can go down there. He can grab rebounds. He could facilitate the ball. I love the fact that he trusts his guys. He's so inefficient to me, bro. Like, he good for 10 of 25, a 7 of 23. We saw his numbers in the finals last year. He had a good finals, bro, but it wasn't scoring the basketball. It was facilitating all series.
Exactly.
Like, efficiency-wise, like, if I'm not mistaken, he shot like 40% or in the 30s the whole series. Mm-hmm. It's like, I think that I just think he has to take better shots, bro. I think you can shoot the 3, you can shoot the mid-range, but, bro, you 6'9", 6'10", attack the basket a little bit more. Get into the paint a little bit more. Go to the low. I saw Kendrick Perkins talking about this. I couldn't agree more. Go to the low block. Bro, everybody want to shoot 3s, bro. Go to the low block, bro. You 6'9", 6'10", bro. Like, post fade somebody, bro. Use your pivot foot. Like, come on. I mean, come on now, bro. I think he could be a lot better if he took better shots, bro. I really
Yes.
do. But all in all, like, uh, shout out. We gonna get to the Pacers in a second, but shout out to the Pacers. Ty in the comments going crazy
I
about
know,
these
right?
Pacers right now, and I respect it. I definitely respect it because I think. Well, we gonna get to this in a second, but I don't know if either one of us expected the Pacers to come out this hot. But
2-0?
right, 2-0 is crazy. But who's more overrated, Tatum or Holly, is a wild question to ask. I'm like, bro, stop it, bro. I ain't gonna get that disrespectful. With Tatum. But I do think he's a little overrated though.
I do want to say about Tatum too. Tatum, as the playoffs go, his scoring drops,
Yeah.
and that's not how it's supposed to be. And that's why what he does in round 1, I really don't care right now. This in round 2, I don't care. I want to see how he acts in the finals.
Yeah.
Against the Warriors, he was terrible. Had the most turnovers in the finals in NBA history. And then you go last year, and then in the finals against the Warriors, he averaged 22 points a game, 21 points a game. That finals run, is scoring literally it dropped every series. His highest scoring average was first round. And then last year, like you said, you get to the finals, you averaging 30 the whole playoffs. You get to the finals, you averaging 24, 23.
Bro, on like 40, on like 30. I gotta remember go back and look at the shooting percentage. It was like 37% or something like that from the field.
40. And then like and Celtics fans get mad like we disrespect Tatum. Bro, Tatum has the full arsenal. He has the body. Yo, his shoulders are like Giannis' shoulders. Like literally, his shoulders broad. He got the height. He got the dribble. He can pass. He can shoot. He got lip on his legs. He's a great defender. I mean, and he got great pieces around him. Like, why is it so tough for this dude to just take over in the finals in the biggest moment? So we're gonna find out this year though, because hopefully my prediction right. Because SGA will show this dude if he gets to the finals how to take over a game in the biggest stage.
I think no matter between
Steph,
right, Jokic, hey, even Jamal Murray, bro.
You
like,
I
like, bro,
I kind of killed him and said he stepped up last series.
I mean, and me too. I didn't think. I remember I said he was going to have to average just like I think it was 27 to 30 or something like that in this series. I can't remember off the top of my head how much he averaged, but he had his moments. And he had that 42-point game. So like the Nuggets are serious. But last series of the day, Joe, man. Last series of the day, we got the Pacers and the Cavs, bro. Now the series is 2-0 now. I don't know who. We gonna get to who Joe had coming into this series. This is just. I don't know what to say, bro. I don't know what to say, Joe. You take it away, man. What you think about this series? What was your prediction before the series? Has it changed? I mean, I'm sure it had. No matter who you picked, you don't feel the same way today. Like even if you pick the Pacers, you most likely picked them in like probably like 7 games. It's no way you picking them to only win in 7 games now. And if you pick Cleveland, you probably picked them in like 6 games. There's no way you don't think it's going 7 at least now. So I'm interested in your thoughts, man.
Man, when I picked this series, I was torn, AJ. Because the Pacers, to me, they're the most dangerous team in the East. I said this like a month ago. And when I was making my pick, I'm like, yo, the Pacers could definitely win this series. They play the same type of basketball style as the Cavs. They both give up a lot of threes. They both play on a fast pace. They both are deep. They use their depth a lot, both of them. They are kind of similar. And I looked at it like, but the Cavs, they have home court advantage, and the Cavs are a better defensive team. Now, in the Pacers, they up their defense in the playoffs every year. Like, it's crazy. But the Cavs are a better defensive team. So I'm like, you know what? And the Cavs been through it. They've been through some bumps and bruises so far in the playoffs. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to roll with the Cavs in 7. But AJ, it's like the Bucks series, man. The Pacers be making me regret my pick. And then when I made my pick, I didn't regret it, but I'm like, yo, I might regret this. Literally, like, that's how I felt. Because the Pacers scare me. Like, I don't root against them, but I root for my pick. And it's like, yo, the Pacers are dangerous, man. They play so freely. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, and then when you watch the Pacers, no lead is safe. Literally, it's not safe. As you can tell by the Cavs, they were up by, I think they were up by 15 in the fourth quarter and lost the game still. So I'm gonna roll with the Cavaliers in 7. I'm gonna stick with it. Right now they're dealing with injuries. Evan Mobley didn't play today. Darius Garland is hurt. DeAndre Hunter is hurt also. So like they just hurt right now. Spider had 48 tonight and still lost. It's crazy at home. So now they gotta go to Indiana. Hopefully they can pull a Jokic from last year and win 2 games in a row. So
Right.
I'm gonna stick with my pick, Cavs in 7.
Yeah, I had the Cavs in 6 to start the series. These injuries, man. Once I saw the injury report to start the game, I said, bro, this Cavs about to lose again, bro. This the thing about the Pacers, right? The Pacers, I think, can be had, but it's no fault to them. You gotta be healthy against the Pacers.
Yes.
Like, you gotta have your full arsenal. Because like we said about the Celtics, drawing the comparison, they have so many guys, bruh, that could go out there and score. It's not about their defense for real. They have so many guys offensively that could just flat out have a day. To the point where you almost forget about Halliburton, and then Halliburton come out there and kill you. You know what I mean? Like, they got a lot of different weapons offensively that can kill you. That's why they one of the best offenses in the league and been one of the best offenses in the league for the last couple of years. Yeah. I picked the Cavs thinking that number one, it was going to be healthy. But number two, I'm thinking about their defensive prowess. I'm thinking maybe they could slow these guys down, slow the game down a little bit, not turn the ball over as much, stop these guys from getting out in transition, and they can win off that. And then you have Donovan Mitchell, who I think is a star in this league, who at this point, man, how many number one seeds are you going to have before you make it to finals? My goodness.
Facts.
I feel for him. I feel for him. But, I mean, he's been a number one seed in Utah. He's been a number one seed out here with the Cavs. And it's a struggle every year in the playoffs. And sometimes it really don't be on him. Like, for Utah, they used to just play Rudy Gobert off the floor, and that was an issue. And now with these guys, the guy's hurt. And then last year he was hurt, right? So it's not all his fault, but my goodness, something got to shake. So I picked the Cavs to win this series, but now, bro, like, if they don't get healthy, if they don't have their guys for this next game, and I got to go back and actually see what happened in this game. I know Halliburton hit a game-winning 3, but if they don't have their guys in Indiana, bro, Indiana is not a fun place to play.
It's not.
It's one. I think Indiana has one of the best home court advantages in the league, bro. I do. Come postseason time, teams have struggled to play out there in Indiana, bro. Mm-hmm. So losing both of your home games and then expecting to go out there to Indiana and win 2, it's a tall task, especially if you ain't got your whole arsenal. It's a tall task, man. So it's possible. I don't know if they will, but what I will say is, if we're being honest, now we have seen, we admitted that I had the Cavs in 6, you had them in 7. I think there's no way in hell they go back 2-2. I think the best thing they can hope for is 3-1, and then they got to work on coming back from down 3-1. I think them losing the game tonight, I think the series is over, bro. I think it's over, bro. I don't see no coming back for them unless the Pacers, not, you know what I'm saying, we don't wish injury on nobody, but unless they have injuries of their own, if they're 100%, bro, they not losing the 2-0 lead going to Indiana. This series is a wrap. This series is over with, bro.
I got to watch game too.
Yeah, bro. It's over with.
That's crazy. It's over?
It's over, bro. Like I said, everybody can't do what Denver did. Going on the road, winning 2 straight. And then on the flip side, everybody not going to fold. Because the Wolves also kind of folded them 2 games at home too and got comfortable. Everybody not going to get cut. Like, the Pacers don't strike me as the type of team that goes home and get comfortable. They strike me as the type of team that offensively, when they smell blood, it's night-night, bro. It's over with. Like, so I don't think it's over. Bro, it's over, Joe. It's over, bro.
The Cavs are the best 3-point shooter team in the NBA. And like, if they get hot, it's a wrap. And I gotta see the injury report. I gotta see Evan Mobley, because Evan Mobley didn't play today. I gotta see if he's
defensive
playing.
player of the year. They're gonna need him.
Yeah, I gotta see if he's playing or not, but I don't think it's over. I'm still going Cavs in 7. But
I'll
Ty,
stick. I'll stick to my. I mean, I said Cavs in 6, just for the sake
that
of
ain't,
sticking
that
to
ain't
my
happening.
pick. Right, just for the sake of sticking to it, though. I'll say I'll stick to it. But like, given what we've seen now, I now know that the Pacers probably gonna win this series. I would guess in probably 5 games. That would be my
Well,
guess.
if they
That would
sweep
be
these
my
boys,
guess.
that'd
If
be
they
crazy.
sweep them, look out, Boston.
For real, like the Pacers are
Boston got to
dangerous.
show up every game.
I'm telling people forget Boston won 4 close games against the Pacers, and the Pacers didn't have Tyrese Halliburton,
Yeah, yep,
but they
yep.
ain't have Porzingis though.
That's true. Porzingis is always
But Tyrese
underrated though.
Halliburton is way more valuable than Porzingis.
He
Like
is.
where he is in Indiana.
He
One thing I
needs
love about
more.
Tyrese Halliburton, he don't turn the ball over.
Yeah,
That's what he
he's
does.
smart.
Like he takes care of that rock, man. He's a true point guard.
Yeah,
We gave him up, man. I just organizations, man.
I
They
feel
gonna give him up and then give up Fox too. Like, come on, bro.
Hey, we gave up Zubac, bro. We could have used Zubac. Oh my goodness, could we have
I know. And the
used
last,
Zubac? Oh my goodness, bro. Oh my gosh, could we have used him? Goodness gracious,
especially last year, yes.
bro. Goodness gracious, bro. Oh
No,
man. So
that's
yeah,
funny.
bro. I definitely get it. And like I said, shout out. I do think the Pacers have gotten a little luck. They've had with the Dame injury. Then last year you had Giannis and Dame missing time. This year you got Dame injury to start the series, and then he tears his Achilles in a game where I thought that was gonna be his game in that series. I thought that was gonna be his breakout game in that series. Game 4 finally got his legs under him, but he tears his Achilles. The Pacers come out and close them out. Then in this series you got an injury riddled, looks like Cavs team. So I want to say a lot of it is luck, but at the same time, I got to give respect to the Pacers. Number one, it takes a little bit of luck to get to the finals anyway. Like, you need a couple bounces in your favor, whether it be a call here and there, whether it be an unfortunate turnover by the other team, whether it be a few injuries that help you out, whether it be a role player having an out-of-body experience and playing out of their mind. Like, you need a little bit of something to get through each round of the playoffs and get to the finals. But outside of that aspect of it, I got much respect. I've been dissing Ty, you know what I'm saying, and the Pacers, but much respect, man. They look like they're a team that are at this point going to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals, and the Celtics are going to have their hands full. They match up well from the standpoint of, just like y'all got a bunch of guys that can go off, we got a bunch of guys that can go off as well. The difference though is the defenses though. The Celtics in that defense, I think, is gonna make the difference if they match up. But
we said the same thing about the Cavs, though.
yeah, that's true.
But the Cavs are
they
hurt, though.
banged up. They missing the defensive player of the year right now.
Yeah, Porzingis,
Like, yeah. So
and Jalen Brown. Good, yeah, but
Yeah.
great show though. Great show.
Yes,
We got
sir.
the predictions down packed. Now we can go through the playoffs in the second round and hold each other accountable. What he said.
they better call Brian and Kyrie to come back. That's the only way they come back. I feel him.
Speaking of the Pacers, my last words. Shout out to the whole R2R network. Shout out to our R2R family. Shout out to AJ, my partner in crime. Great show today. And since we talking about the Pacers, I was watching my brother J-Mo. He called me and said, "Did you watch All the Smoke with Reggie Miller?" I was like, I ain't seen All the Smoke in a while. So I go watch it, man. I think it's good. I'm not gonna lie. It started off by Steven Jackson apologizing for the Malice in the Palace.
Mm-hmm.
He said we supposed to win for you. You was our vet. That year we supposed to win the ring for you. And when he said that, Reggie was like, "Let me get my drink." He took a glass of water, started drinking, and this dude started crying, man.
Yeah.
He was sharing tears that whole episode. It was crazy. But like watching that, you watch these playoffs, and then you got guys like James Harden, who never won. Guys like Westbrook, I'm upset with the Clippers. Like, yo, James Harden never won. But then you got guys like Westbrook. I'm pretty sure the Nuggets are saying. I remember Aaron Gordon, matter of fact, said my job is to get Russell ring. He said that in the beginning of the season. I know the Warriors also with Jimmy Butler are like, yo, this is for Jimmy Butler. You know what I mean? So that makes me a little worried about OKC. I'm not gonna lie. I watched that Reggie Miller jump, like they probably riding behind Westbrook. But anyways, Commanders, keep doing your thing. When Howie called next, I don't even answer. It's a division tax. You know, you gotta pay a little extra, AJ, if you want to get some off. And look, what's wrong with Howie? He just like to trade for no reason, bro. Like he trying to keep up his reputation of trading every year.
Low key, I feel like low key he be trying like let's just I think he hears the ski mask Howie stuff. Like he hears it and he plays with it. He likes to play along. He likes to play along for sure.
Here, Adam Schefter. I can guarantee the Eagles will make at least 2 to 3 trades in the first round.
Yeah.
I gotta keep this standing up.
Bro, yes. I feel
But I like what we did in the drive. I just like what we doing, man. I mean, Adam Peters is really doing a good job. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, protect JD." Yes, but we get this old line straight for the run game too. Our run game was shot second half of the season, and that so shout out to the Commanders. Canes, I have nothing for y'all. I got the jersey right here, but I mean, I got the Bean jersey, but I mean, it's been them for a while, and it will be for a while. But shout out to Doug Christie for being the interim head coach. Only way we got hope if we get the number 1 pick. So shout out to the NBA lottery. That's what I got for y'all.
My last words, man. Shout out again to the R2L family, man. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Shout out to everybody watching from the Timeout, full Timeout family as well. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to this week's episode of Unfazed. Lakers, man, listen. You got to start having some uncomfortable conversations this offseason. I think one of the conversations that you have to have is that you got to either get LeBron to retire or you got to find a way to get him to want out of LA. And I'm just, in all seriousness, I think that as long as LeBron is on our team, he's going to be one of the highest paid players on the roster, which means he's always going to be that number 2 guy on the roster. And at this point in LeBron James' career, he don't have it quarters 1 through 4 for a regular season and playoff run. In order to get to a championship, LeBron I don't think he has that in him anymore. If he takes a pay cut to the point where we could get a real number 2 in, we have a different conversation. But right now, LeBron, he just, I've seen it now year after year. He struggles in the fourth quarter of every series he's in, bro. And it is a lot because of age. He just don't have the gas in the fourth. He don't even take shots in the fourth half the time. So I think at some point you got to move on in a different direction. You got to build the team around Luka Doncic, bring in some 3-and-D lengthy guys that can defend, get some big man in the paint to block shots because guys is blowing by him at every chance, and bring Austin Reeves off the bench and make him 6th man of the year next year. That's your offseason plan. If I'm the Lakers, that's what I'm doing. That's your offseason plan. Let go of Bron, bring in some lengthy defenders, 3-and-D guys that can shoot the 3 and make plays defensively, and go get 2 bigs similar to how the Mavs built it. Just calling a spade and bring Austin Reeves off the bench. As far as the Eagles are concerned, man, hey, look, like usual, man, I'm chilling. We Super Bowl champs. I also love what we did in the draft. I'm very excited about our players. And, hey, listen, if I'm Adam Peters, you're right, Joe, I'm doing the same thing. I look at my caller ID, I see Howie Roseman, and I immediately think, you got some nerve. Same dude who built a team that beat us in the dang NFC Championship game 55-27, something along the line. You trying to call us for a trade? Yeah, you did. We gonna add some tax and some extra things on this. I forget about what y'all did to us, blowing us out, embarrassing us with the money on the line in Philadelphia. Hey, I wouldn't even. Hey, 55-27. I'm just hanging up the phone. Ain't nothing else to talk about. Hey, like, what we doing, man? We not trading with Philadelphia. I get it. I understand. And if you Howie, I look at the phone, I chuckle, and I call the next team. Hey, at least I had to try. Hey, I don't blame. I had to try, see if I could finesse. It is what it is, man. So respect to him. But like usual, man, the Eagles, you know what I'm saying? The Lakers, they have me phased, but the Eagles, man, I remain unfazed with them.
Unfazed. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe,
And also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.